Good morning. This is Jorge Herrera, and it's almost 11 a.m. And I'm with you to share the last chapter of the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, written by John Maxwell. And I'm happy that I was able to provide this contribution, and beginning next week, or on Tuesday next week, I'm going to start with the greatest salesman in the world, part 2. The forgot what is the saying, the end of the story. And I'm going to share with you weekly for 10 additional weeks the vows that are presented in this little booklet also. So going to the last chapter on John Maxwell, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, we're talking about that the law of contribution. And he talks about Benjamin Franklin, that he had fantastic behavior. He had a couple of questions that he asked himself every day. Just as he woke up, he would ask himself, what good can I do today? And before he went to bed, he would ask himself, what good did I do today? And basically, kind of the main reason or the main behavior that we should observe is to become a river instead of a reservoir. Because a river gives everything that it receives. It just passes it down. And a reservoir is always accumulating, kind of fulfilling his own interests. Granted, a reservoir, the end use is to share what is in the reservoir. When the doors of the reservoir or the gates are open, then a river is created. The difference is the river doesn't wait to a fulfillment, because what is enough? How much should we accumulate? We don't have the problem with the river, because the river is given as soon as it is achieving or gaining or receiving. The reservoir, it waits to have enough to a point to start giving. So it's better to be a river. There are some suggestions that John Maxwell helps us with to become more generous. The first one is be grateful. People that are grateful, they are thinking on others. They are thinking on God. They are thinking about God and grateful of all the blessings that God has covered this person. And he is also being grateful for all the help that other people have provided to him, for all the comfort that we enjoy that was created by other people. That's why we always should be grateful. When we are ungrateful, we are being selfish. We are thinking that we are not getting enough, that we are not receiving from others what we are entitled to. So we should be grateful. John Maxwell has a nice comment that his father used to say to him. People contribute to us. And the example is when you just got born, when you just were born, you were already in debt with your mother for 9 months of board and food. So we have to be very grateful to our mothers, because even before we are born, they are taking care of us. Second point on these suggestions, let's put people first. We can grow, we can be successful, and we can strive to become wealthy on our own. It's a lot more difficult. Zig Ziglar created a saying that everybody is familiar with, that if you want to become wealthy, you only have to help as many people as you can, and you don't have to worry about the money. The money will come to you. You just have to concentrate on helping as many people as you can. Point number 3, don't let stuff own you. And that's a sin that we all have to fight with in the in the Western world. The consumption habit, the having as much as we can to own everything, to keep it the Jones. And there was a nice point that I read there, that there are 3 types of people. The ones that have, the ones that don't have, and the ones that don't pay for what they have. And you know who those are. Government and entitlement people. So the ones that have, they apply the proper attitude and personal responsibility and work hard or smart. The ones that don't have, we can blame the circumstances, but mostly is because of their attitude and that they did not want to work hard or smart. Point number 4, don't let people own you. And that's what happens when we are more a taker than a giver. When we are giving, when we give to everybody, nobody can complain. I mean, they could comment, why are you giving me so much? But they cannot bring to your face that they have been given to you. Well, some people might give keeping a score. And that's something that happened to John Maxwell. He had a friend that was helping him, and he was inviting him to a fancy restaurant frequently, to him and his wife. And then came an opportunity for John Maxwell to move to a different city, to be in charge of a bigger church. And when he told his friend brought it to his face. Said, John, how can you do that after all I have done for you? So his friend was helping him, but he was keeping a score. So a couple of points there. Let's give more than what we take. So in that, we normally avoid people bringing it to our face that they are helping us. But two, when we give, let's give without any expectation, without any expectation of receiving anything back. Point number 5. Let's define success as sowing instead of reaping. When we're reaping, we are thinking on owning, self-help, having more. But when we're sowing, we are doing it for the future, and it's easy to sow. We can help somebody at any moment, and who knows, this person might help us later. But then again, we should do it without any expectations to receiving anything. And also, we can sow by working on our character, on our attitude. The number 6 is let's look for self-development instead of self-fulfillment. And this is a similar point. On self-development, we are normally growing and we can share. On self-fulfillment, we're thinking in ourselves, how can I become more satisfied, to get satisfaction in life. Point number 7, keep growing so we can keep giving. There are some people that get to a point that they think that they don't need to continue growing, that they achieve the best of them. So because of that, they plateau, they stall there, and they stop giving. So the only way that we don't have to stop giving is by continue growing. Because if we continue growing in our personal development, we will certainly be able to share what we are learning. Thank you. Thank you for visiting. There was a saying from Jim Rohn that said, the best gift that you can give someone else is the best of you, your best personal development. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for having accompanied me for all this time that I've been presenting to you, and I'm going to continue to do it because I get satisfaction on that. But a big part of my satisfaction is that I'm doing something that might help somebody, that might create a difference. I'll see you next week with the second part, the end of the story on the greatest salesman in the world by Og Mandino. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at jorgeherrera.com, and we can chat about personal growth, the infinite banking concept, the home-based business. Smile. Be tolerant. I'll see you next week.